This video is all about learning how to focus your essay to make sure that you are specifically addressing the essay prompt question. So sometimes essay prompts are written as a question, sometimes they're written as a statement. So here's an example of a writing prompt that is written as a statement. It says, describe the positive and negative aspects of online dating. So what that prompt is asking for is both. A student cannot choose only one side or to go in a different direction. So I want to take a look at a couple of these prompts or a couple of these thesis statements to see if they actually match the prompt. Now each of these numbered statements would be a thesis in an essay. I just pulled them all out and put them together in this document so you can kind of see how different points may or may not actually address the prompt. So first one, it says online dating can be dangerous and rewarding. It is like gambling for love with your life. Okay, positive and negative. Does it have it? Dangerous, negative. Rewarding, positive. Gambling for love, maybe positive. Gambling with your life, not so positive, right? More dangerous. So that one does clearly address the writing prompt. Now if we look at the next one, it says online dating allows adults to scan lots of potential dates and find out something about them before meeting them in person, though there is always the chance of meeting someone dangerous or who simply gives out false information. So again, if we come back up here, and I'm just going to move this out of the way so that we can see a little bit clearer. If we come back up to the top, right, where we're looking at that writing prompt, it talks about lots of potential dates, finding out something before, those are positive. Dangerous, false information, again, that would be that negative stance. Next one, it says success stories and scary stories are part of online dating. So this is a thesis that is actually not addressing the prompt. The prompt is asking for these positive and negative aspects of online dating. The word stories immediately suggests that these could just be in fact stories and may not be real aspects of online dating. You can tell a story about anything you want and it may or may not be true. So that's actually not addressing the prompt directly. Telling stories about what people think happened to them or what did is not the same thing as looking at the bigger picture and looking what's really happening or the reality of online dating. So that one does not address the prompt. Next one says women should avoid online dating sites because these sites could lead to dangerous and even deadly situations. Again, this one is not addressing the prompt. Women, the prompt doesn't mention anything specifically about women, right? It's talking about online dating in general. And then the actual thesis itself just mentions dangerous and deadly situations. There is nothing of the positive aspect that the prompt is asking for. So this would not be a good thesis to use. Again, it doesn't address the prompt. It's not the idea, it's that it's not addressing the prompt question. So the last one says dating online is great for all personality types, including the less desirable, which means that people need to be wary when using dating websites. Okay, positive, great for all personality types, including the less desirable, sounds pretty negative. Also sounds a little bit offensive, possibly to the reader, so that would be one that you might want to reword for word choice, but it meets the prompt, which means that people need to be wary when using dating websites. So again, it's definitely covering both positive and negative aspects of online dating. It's not saying all people should or shouldn't use them. It's not addressing one gender or the other. It is looking at both sides. So that is part of making sure your essay is focused, is that your thesis directly has to address whatever the prompt is coming up with or is asking for. Now, the next part is how do you go from having that thesis that matches up to having specific main points that also match, because each main point then must connect to the thesis. Thesis directly connects to the prompt, each main point directly connects to the thesis statement. So I just pulled one of the thesis statements from that example that I just used. This one says online dating allows adults to scan lots of potential dates and find out something about them before meeting them in person, though there's always the chance of meeting someone dangerous or who simply gives out false information. This is referred to as a listing thesis because it's literally listing the points that they're going to talk about. If you have a listing thesis, that also means that the order of your points must follow the order in your thesis statement. So up here, First thing that they mention in the thesis, scan lots of potential dates. First thing mentioned for first body paragraph, scan lots of potential dates. So that does clearly stay focused and match up to the thesis. Then it talks about learn a little bit more, okay? Again, that directly connects back to the thesis. Find something out about them. So it doesn't have to be the same wording, but it has to be the exact same idea. Then it says, though there's always a chance of meeting someone dangerous. Okay, so again, come up here. Dangerous, dangerous. And then it says, who simply gives out false information. Now, if you look at this one, right, that's the last part. This down here, it does not match, right? So put lots of question marks there. That is not addressed in the thesis. So that last point is not in focus. It does not cover the last idea that this person meant to talk about. So again, point number 4, not in focus. All right, let's take a look at the next one. Go ahead and try and make this one just a little bit bigger real quick. So we're going to look at the dating online is great for all personality types, including the less desirable, which means that people need to be wary when using dating websites. This is called an umbrella thesis. It doesn't list out every single main point, but every single main point must still be covered by that thesis statement. So covered literally like an umbrella. So the first place says online dating is a place where anyone can meet someone because all types of people do online dating. All personality types, all types of people. Online dating even allows for shy or quiet people. Again, that directly connects back to all personality types. Then it switches to less desirable. Well, they clarify what they mean by less desirable, specifically talk about criminals, okay? Then it says, which means that people need to be wary when using the dating website. Point number 4 says people need to, or sorry, women are more likely to be taken advantage of. There is nothing up here about women needing to be more cautious or that women are more likely to be victims, okay? Now, next main point, therefore safety and caution are important. When using dating websites, people need to be wary. Okay, that can connect back to that one, right? So we might highlight that a different color and say, okay, that does get covered. Safety and caution are important. Doesn't mention specifically women, so that one's okay. But then it comes back to women at the end. And again, this one, like before, it's not addressing it. So point number 4 and point number 6 are considered off topic in this outline. You would not actually want to use either of those in your actual essay because they are not covered in the prompt. They are not covered in the specific thesis. Therefore, they should not be part of the essay because they're off focus. Now, those are great points. There's nothing wrong with those points other than they do not stay focused on the prompt. And again, thesis must match prompt. Each main point must match thesis statement. And those connections should be really clear and obvious. Your reader shouldn't have to guess at what those connections are. So anytime you find yourself, even if you love the point, but it doesn't match your thesis and it doesn't match the prompt, it needs to come out of the essay. And again, that's because that's part of good writing is learning how to write within guidelines. Guidelines is learning to write to a specific essay prompt, whether it's a statement prompt or a question. Hopefully this helps. Have a great day.